Lorenzo Moretto. I'm the director of Museo of Province of Padova. I'm in the center of Padova. On my right side there's a tomb of the founder of Padova, Antenore. And behind me there is Palazzo Santo Stefano, which one I want to introduce you for a guided tour. With me, you will be accompanied by Alessandra Guzzon, archaeologist. She will show you different parts of the museum that includes the anti-gas refuge of the Second War and a German bunker, also from the Second War, and different part of the historical building, the institutional room of this place that belongs to 19th-20th century.
Thank you, Enzo, and welcome to Palazzo Santo Stefano. I'm Alessandra and I'm enjoying to visit the palace. We are at the entrance of the museum and now follow me. It is an American bomb and it's real. It's 1,000 pounds US bomb and it never used in Padua for two reasons. Padua is never bombed by the American army but the British army, and the second, they used one bomb of 500 pounds. It was found in the north of Padua, in Campo San Piero, because these bombs were used. In the Veneto, they used in the Treviso, in Mestre, and in Treviso-Ostiglia train line. In Padua, Royal Air Force cold bombed only the train station, Campo di Marte train station, and the bridges of Ponte Vigo d'Arzera and Ponte di Brenta. Unfortunately, they damaged Eremitani Church near Scrovegni Chapels. Between the station and Eremitani, there are about 800 meters. Now we are in the refuge anti-gas and we can see some objects of that period. For example, an Italian game called Gioco dell'Oca. It's a thematic version who teaching the babies who complicated during the bombardment. We can see some postcards published by Hemka at the end of 1936, a Model 40 civilization protection mask, including a box and instructional booklet. Now we can see the siren produced by La Sonora Company during the Second World War in 1941, and it wasn't here but in Prato della Valle. When used, you can see about 10 kilometers about, and you can see the helmet of Italian Army, the Model 33, marked UNPA, Unione Nazionale Protezione Antiaerea. Now we can see a fragment of bomb, Italian bomb, some American bombs fuses, and a butterfly bomb, a model of Consolidate, and the 459 bombardment group B-24 Telnodular, and the stem of the group with the motto in Latin, Ducit Amor Patriae. Now we enter in the real anti-gas refuge, and you can see the door and if you came with me, you can see the real entrance to the refuge. Now we are in the shelter and you can see the hermetical door. It's a submarine door and you can close the door with in the ceiling we can see the air duct for the oxygen. This tunnel connected this refuge with another refuge under Piazza Antenore.
Formally, this refuge can host only 70-80 people, but we know that during the war, during the bombing time, there were many more, maybe 200 or more. And you can imagine what happened when there are a lot of people in this small space and there's a missing oxygen here. Anyway, even 78 people need a lot of oxygen. So this plant that's behind me was used to filtrate the air through these. These are the filters. And then the air is moved by this mechanism that was originally a bicycle. People standing here and moving the bike like a biking the road, and then pumping the air through the filter and then outside the door. Inside the refuge also a very old radio. There's only the carcass of the radio now, and for communication to receive news, not Radio Londra because this was too much formal placement, maybe without officer, somebody try also to this. Radio Londra is famous because was sending messages to the partisans, to people that were against the occupants and the local government at the moment. So, but this is a very interesting remain in this place.
We are on the first floor of the palace and this staircase was built in 1944 by the architect Angelo Pisani. And with the staircase there are two statues of two Vips of Padua. The first is Andrea Mantegna, the painter of Renaissance, and he was born in Piazzola sul Brenta. And the second statue is Tito Livio, the famous author in Latin language. Now we are in the delegation hall and we can see free paint of three painters of that age. The first is painted by Angelo Pisani and it is the view of Petrarca in the Euganic Mountains. The second paint is a painting by Antonio Morato and represented the city of Este in the south of province of Padua. The last one is by Dino Lazzara and represented the city of Padua with Sant'Antonio, La Vergata, Lace, and Ermitani Church and the Scrovegni Chapel. Now we are in the council chamber and we can see this hall is built in 1868 by Carlo Mates, and this fresco is by Giulio Carlini. And the famous fresco is on the ceiling and represented la cacciata di Pagano dalla città di Padova. garden of Prefecture of Padua, and we can see an anti-aircraft shelter used by the German military during the Second World War. In the bunker, in the underground floor, and you can see the command site and the communication tube for this plane and the high floor.
We are at the top floor of the German bunker. This is a particular place because it was used for communication during the Second War. Here there are also some features that are very original, like this small window that was used to manage the carrier pigeons. Carrier pigeons were used a lot during the First War, but the Second World War were not much used, but were supposed to do. Also, this place they're supposed to do, but where they weren't used because other situation come at the system of communication. Inside, I show you this type of communication used by voice, the kind of interphone. And okay, with this place we close our tour, our guided tour. I thank you very much. I hope to see you here in this place, in the center of Padua, to know a piece of the story of this place, or this city, but also to visit Padua, to visit also the other museum of the Padua province. Bye bye.